My name's Heather Beal, and I have been with Brian since last August. I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary. Since my time at Brian, I actually started as a patient care tech, worked for about a month, and then transitioned into the RN role before having my second child, and then came back 3 months later after maternity leave and came right on to the RN role and started alternating days and nights on 4 South on West Campus, which is our ortho trauma unit, and I've been here ever since. Right now we are a 24-bed unit. We are typically almost always full. We staff 1 charge nurse. Ideal situation is for that charge nurse not to take patients, but I'm not going to say it never happens. We have 6 what we call floor nurses, staff nurses, each of which take about 4 patients. In the event that we're short-staffed, which isn't that often, we would visit either the charge nurse taking or an additional 5th patient, but that's kind of few and far between. Support staff, we also typically have 1 pharmacist on during the days, which is super nice because they're a huge resource if you have any questions about IV compatibility, or if you get an order from a provider that you're like, oh, I'm just not sure about this. They're just an extra resource along with your colleagues and charge nurse to run by, which is awesome. And then we typically have 3 patient care techs during the day and then 2 at night. During the day, when it's 3, they each take a 1/4 of the rooms, or a 1/3 of the rooms, since we have the 24 beds. At night, they kind of split the unit on half, and geographically, we are we call it east and west. So at nighttime, 1 care tech will take the east side, and 1 care tech will take the west side. And we kind of just all work together in that. Along with being the ortho trauma unit, we are designated for any kind of orthopedic surgeries, even things that are scheduled ahead of time that aren't in a freak accident, an accident, anything like that. So we take a lot of total knee, total hip replacements that are scheduled. We usually will get them and plan for them the following day to ensure we have a bed for them. And then we also get the unfortunate people who are in a car accident or fall off a ladder, fall off a bike. As long as they're not a pediatric patient, we will take them as far as that trauma goes, and we'll kind of see them throughout their stay in combination with our trauma team. But we are a general care floor, so we also get all sorts of different things. If there's no space in the other floors, we'll take lap choles, routine surgeries, appendectomies, gallbladders, things like that. We also take pneumonia, COPD exacerbations, anything really, since we're a general care floor. So we see it all, that's for sure. Usually we get here, again, hit the ground running, get all your report, review all your orders, make sure all your ducks in a row, see your patients, assess them, pass their meds, get everybody tucked in, hope that they stay tucked in. Sometimes that's not always the case, but again, the teamwork, things are always taken care of. So we just wait for the sun to rise and wait for that day shift to come. I enjoy a lot of aspects of my job. Nursing has really been a passion of mine. I've always been an empathetic, detail-oriented person, but nursing allows me to have some autonomy while getting to know patients, talking to them, just kind of building that rapport is really, I think, goes a really long way. In addition to that, it's just awesome networking, talking with providers, colleagues, management, care management, EVS. I mean, everybody has something. I think just building those kind of relationships can really go a long way. So 4 South really gives you the opportunity to do that. Again, we're kind of a funky bunch, and we like to have fun, but like I said, we care for our patients and we do it very well. Brian offers a 1-year-long residency for new nurses. When you get started, it's kind of like, oh, what a drag, but it's really only once a month. I'm already about gearing up for my 12th month. And it's really a good opportunity to, again, network and relate to people who may be going through same things with you, learn from each other, bounce off different ideas. And you do get to do an additional EBP, evidence-based practice project, which is really cool, especially since you can like pair up how you want. So you can do like different units, that kind of stuff. I'm currently doing stuff about like communication with patients and providers and just ensuring patient safety. And I'm actually doing that with another girl on our unit, as well as a gal from the cardiac ICU over at East. So just kind of coming into collaboration and coming into things that affect all of our patients is really cool. And then we do a thing which is my favorite part. It's called Bedside Tales, where we just get together and we can vent about things good and bad, about what's going on our units, and it's a safe place for you to vent and discuss things. I mean, so that is really cool. And like I said, it's only 1 month and you get paid for it, so that's a cool aspect of it. And not a lot of other facilities or employers offer that, and if they do, it's not a residency that is as long. So that was really nice, kind of transitioning in as a new nurse. One awesome thing about working on 4 South Ortho Trauma is, again, you get to work closely with the trauma team. I'm a huge fan of Dr. Okeson and his team. The advanced practice providers are all a hoot. The good thing about them is they love to teach. So if you're willing to ask questions and pick their brain, and they really do invest in you. And I think that's a really cool thing. We also get a lot of students on our unit, and I love to teach. So even me being a new nurse, I think there's some things that I have to offer, even if it's something as small as like communication, or, hey, I noticed you did this, what do you think about this? People are really open to ideas and bouncing things off of each other, and that kind of goes hand in hand. I know I've talked a lot about teamwork, but it really helps the morale around here, and people are always willing to learn, always willing to help. And there's also a lot of improvement for, moving up. I've already transitioned into the charge nurse role, and I think that's something as a nurse, we're always learning. There's never going to be an end to our knowledge. And so having those opportunities here at Bryan and on 4 South is something that I've really valued, and that I'm really proud to say that I work here and on 4 South.